Hey guys, welcome to another respiratory video. This video is for both Respiratory 2140 and Respiratory 2160. The earlier video we talked about the theory of non-invasive ventilation and BiPAP ventilation and that continuous pressure, so refer back to that if you want to learn more about the theory and the different principles behind non-invasive mechanical ventilation. This video specifically is going to show the equipment and how to use it. And then I will flip the screen and bring it in close so you guys can actually see the physical screen. But to begin with, this is the Philips Respironics V60. So, as with every piece of equipment, respiratory equipment, it is both pneumatically and electronically powered. So, pneumatic means we need a gas source. One thing with the V60 is there is an internal blender, so you only need an oxygen connection, and then it will blend the oxygen for you so that you can deliver the oxygen that you set when you set your settings. Then you have to have an electrical. So in this case, we have an electronic source. Always remember, green goes to oxygen, yellow goes to air, and we plug into red outlets to prevent a discontinuation of any type of electricity. Essentially, that just means it's hooked up to the backup of the backup generator so that we don't have any stoppage of electricity if the power goes out. So we're going to plug these in to our 50 psi outlets in the wall for our oxygen, and then our red outlets for our electronics. Okay. After that, we want to make sure our circuit is in good condition. And I think when I'm setting up my equipment, the best thing to do is work from the machine out, which is the opposite of what I would suggest to do if you are assessing your patient. But we are setting up our equipment. We want to make sure all of our attachments and everything are in the right place. So I start from the machine out. So on this side, this is where the air from the machine, the pressures, the flow, everything from the machine is delivered from. So this goes to the patient. You can see we have a viral filter that helps prevent any type of infectious diseases or just basically germs in general from entering into our machine, but also make sure we have good clean air being delivered to our patient. This pressure gauge line goes all the way to the proximal end of our circuit and attaches to this piece that's called a whisper valve. So this pressure gauge line, what it does is it actually is what helps us measure the volumes and the readback of what the patient is doing back to our equipment. After that, we'll back up. We have this short piece of corrugated tubing that is not heated, but it goes down to our heater, our Fischer and Pike heater, where it comes across and then leads to our circuit. So on our circuit, you can see we have our heated wires because we are going to want to humidify, because we're going to give lots of flow, lots of pressure. We don't want to dry our patient out and make everything really dry and sticky and uncomfortable for our patient. That's why we have the heater. We have our heater that goes to the proximal, and then we have, again, our pressure gauge line that comes up proximally. A lot of circuits will have a piece of corrugated tubing right here. And then this up here is what is called a whisper valve. So what a whisper valve does is, per the manufacturer, it's a safety feature. We can have an attachment where we can put our pressure gauge line, but this allows for an exhalation port in case there is any type of random malfunction of the machine. Then the patient is able to exhale through this whisper valve so that they don't suffocate. At the end, we would disconnect here and attach whatever interface we are going to use to deliver our non-invasive ventilation. So most of the time this is a mask, and there are several different types of masks. It can be used on a trach, and this in rare cases can be used as a ventilator. And that's where that will be attached. One little trick from practice is to make sure this whisper valve is pointed out away from the patient. Otherwise, they're going to feel like there is a constant leak, and they'll find it very uncomfortable. So with the Fischer Pike heater, sorry, I'm going on a trip. We can see we have a power button, and then an invasive, see the endotracheal tube, and a non-invasive. It will automatically default to the invasive setting. So if you hold it down, it will go to the non-invasive setting. This right here, if you hold it down, it will bring the temperature of the proximal probe to see the temperature, and it will read right here the actual temperature you're delivering at the proximal end of your circuit. You can, if you need to attach a tank, you can either do it with a quick connect attached to an oxygen tank, or sometimes if you have placed the tank on what's called an auxiliary mode, you can attach the quick connect via screwing it onto the tank. And then the water bag, that goes down to your heater. So we're gonna go on a little trip. Sorry guys.